Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Paranormal Ripples. I am Ray, as always, and welcome back to my shows. Well, I say shows because there's a variety of shows I do, but tonight I'm delving into a conspiracy that has left part of the world, and mostly America, dumbfounded and questioning if what is that really going on in Arizona. Hello, Jen. But yeah, before I get delving into all this, make sure that you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the live out to people and turn the notification bell on. And shall we get started with Arizona's one of Arizona's greatest mysteries, the Grand Canyon. Right, if you don't know what the Grand Canyon is, the Grand Canyon is an absolute marvel of in the world, and I'll show you a picture of it now. It basically stretches for 277 miles. Um, I'll show you a picture of the what. Oh, I'll get that one up. Right, let's get that one up for everyone. Right, this is the Grand Canyon, stretches for 277 miles. What we know about the Grand Canyon is that because of not only the rock formation and all that, but what we also know is that it holds many secrets. People think the Grand Canyon was formed due to that asteroid that hit Earth and killed the dinosaurs. Some think it was just, you know, cut like from the Great Flood, like which was mentioned in the Bible. But what we do know is that it's one of six distinct psychophysiographic sections of the Colorado Plateau, and it's not the deepest canyon in the world. It is not the deepest canyon. That honor goes to the Kali Gandaki Gorge in Nepal. Remember that. That's much deeper. Right. So, good evening, Tim. Right. It is incredible. So, it's about 5 to 6 million years old. This exact, exact rock formation. So, that's why it's given prevalence to theories such as the Great Flood from the Bible causing it, or the asteroid strike that killed the dinosaurs. But anyways, there'll be other type of thing. The other type of hotel, well, restaurant thing. But yeah, that's a good thing. The top is flat. Right now, if you don't know about the conspiracy of the Grand Canyon, right? Let's just think. If you're looking at that picture now, what would you say could be a conspiracy to do with the Grand Canyon? I don't mind any guesses. Hmm. Yeah. What could be a conspiracy related to the Grand Canyon? Because I want to hear what your opinions are before I go into the conspiracy. I mean, the audio disappeared, Tim. I'm not saying anything. I was asking a question. That's why I was staying silent. Try refreshing the page, Tim, or refreshing the live. But yeah, oh, there you go. Right, yeah. But I asked, what could a conspiracy related to the Grand Canyon be? Jen said she doesn't know, but what does everyone else think? It's fine, Tim. That's fine. That's why I said I would guess. If you want to just guess about it, then we can come back to it. Right. Now that's your guess then, Tim. Right. I'll come back to that if you're right or one in a minute. But in 2008, there was two studies found. Right. Ah, interesting. You said that second one. Right. Interesting. I won't say anything yet, but that's interesting you mentioned the second one. Right. Two 2008 studies done by Victor Polyak and Rebecca Flowers. So they done examinations of the Grand Canyon. Victor examined caves near the Grand Canyon and placed their origins about 17 million years ago. The study that was published in the journal Science in 2008 used uranium lead dating to analyze calcite deposits found on the walls of 9 caves throughout the canyon. Right? But Rebecca's study reported on apatite thermochronometry results, suggesting that parts of the Grand Canyon had reached a depth near to the modern depth around 20 million years ago. And in a subsequent study published in the journal Science as well, 4 years later in 2012, she suggested that the western part of the Grand Canyon could be as old as 70 million years old. Right. Yeah. 70 million years old. Right. Think of that. So 70 million years old, right? So this is where it'll get tricky now. Right, this is where it gets tricky now, right? Yeah. Right. Right, now, you ready for your mind to get blown? Kim and Jen. Right. Before I say anything, right, think about think about why. Just think why they would be called this. This is Grand Canyon, remember? Why would they be called these names? This is the Grand Canyon. But why would we have names like Cheops Pyramid, Isis Temple, Tower of Set, Horus, Tower of Ra, and Osiris? Why would we have Egyptian names in a Grand Canyon in an American geological area? And that is interesting as well. Betelgeuse or Betelgeuse. I'll tell you why that's interesting in a minute. But yeah, we got American geological feature, but Egyptian stuff. Osiris, Tower of Ra, Horus, Tower of Set, Isis, Cheops or Cheops. It doesn't fit in. Right now, this is where it's something more crazy. Because I researched about Betelgeuse ages back. There you go. Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star, right, in the constellation of Orion. Right, right. The grey aliens that are talked about a lot, yeah, the greys are from Betelgeuse, right? Because Zeta Reticuli, right? You think why? Why are they connected to that area, right? Yeah, because basically Zeta Reticuli, take 400 years for them to get here, right? Look, but from the southern hemisphere, the pair can be seen with the naked eye as a double star, right? That's fine, right? Look, all this about Betelgeuse. Yeah, you're close a little bit, Tim. Right. So Betelgeuse is we're associated with aliens. We're mentioning it because it's so crazy. Right? Right. There you go. Okay. On attack. Look, Orion. Another thing to do with Orion. So we get the Orion star, the Orion constellation up, right? No, we won't get that one. We'll get the proper one. There you go. Look, if you look, the middle part. Look. So then paste. They've named it. Yeah. Why in the Grand Canyon is that a thing? You got Egyptian names, and you know the Egyptians were obsessed with stars and that, and then Orion. Look, yeah, hang on then. Give me a second. Can I do that? The stat pane on. Um, hang on. Can I just say the stat? Oh, hang on. Give me a second. There you go, Jen. Sweetheart. Now you can't tell me that's not a coincidence. Remember, everyone, to like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and share me out to your friends and family and dogs and window cleaners. But yeah, there you go, Jen and Tim. There you go. I'll do that. There you go. There you go. I'll do that. I'll be better for you. There you go. And as we just saw, those two are in the Orion constellation. So I see what other ones are. Bellatrix. Yep. Third brightest star in the constellation of Orion. West of the red supergiant Betelgeuse. Right? Mintaka. Orion. Yeah. What are you thinking now, Tim? Have I rocked your world again? No, I mean, but yeah, but looking at it, right? No, but looking at it though, so say it is right. Why are these spots then, which ain't been mapped? What are they pointing to? Yeah, I know about Pentagon. I'll play a video in a minute of what I'm talking about with the conspiracy to do with, even more to do with the Grand Canyon. But first, look, see, these spots have been named, right? But why the ones that are not marked, but have been marked here on this map? Is there something there? Why is the connection to the Egyptians for? You know? Let's see if we can get a picture up, shall we? So Isis Temple, right? Grand Canyon. Hello. Hang on a minute. What's that then? There's only Isis Temple in Grand Canyon. Can anyone tell me what kind of shape that resembles? Can anyone guess what shape that resembles to me? It is. So I want to check something in a minute. Right. You have a look at that, and I'm going to try and look and see for this other thing that I want to do. Who knows? But what all I do know though, Tim, is that something is going on. Yeah, like hang on. Look at that shape a minute. I want to check something as well. Kind of. It does. Right. There's there's a place that ain't been mapped on that map though, right? And if you're wondering what map I'm on about, everyone, I'm on about that one. There's a place here that ain't been mapped, right? And this is going to blow your mind even more with what the Grand Canyon's holding. This is Vishnu Temple in the Grand Canyon. I'll give you a couple minutes, Jen and Tim, and whoever else is watching, to give me your thoughts on this and what it resembles. Well, I'll get the picture up. Right. What do you think, Tim? Is the Krishna show is known as the Krishna Shrine and Vishnu Temple, right? So you think to yourself, right, what does it look like? And in this way, you're going to be fucking amazed, everyone. I hope. Everyone ready? Yeah, literally, Tim. That's what I've done. Look, look. Yeah, the Sphinx. What is a Sphinx-looking structure doing at the Grand Canyon? Yeah, because you look at it. Hang on. Let's see if I can get up side by side or top down image of it. Hang on. Or something. Hang on. Fine. Right. Let's see if I can get it. Here you go. Right, hang on. There you go, everyone. That's a bit better picture. I got both of them together. What the fuck is that doing at the Grand Canyon? What the fuck is that doing at the Grand Canyon, though? Would the Egyptians have taken over that area? Well, Jen, there's a theory, but it's a theory. If you want me to tell you it, I can tell you it. I'll go theory like that. There is a theory. Right. Basically, the theory is that America, we're the land of giants, as we said, we're the land of giants, and that, and there's a theory that some of these giants helped form the pyramids and structures in Egypt, and they used to come over by boats. That Egyptians went over past everything, past Atlantis, and go over to get them, bring them back, and to do the work. Because why else is there like big like steps that you can't hardly go up? They are too massive and stuff like that. Like I'm not even rude, hang on. If anyone don't know what I mean, hang on. Um, uh, John. Um, like here you go. I'll get this image up. Hang on. Why was there steps made like that? You know what I mean? Why were steps like this made when no normal human being our size nowadays can go up them? And they said it was giants. Look how massive they are. This is in Egypt, by the way, somewhere. We can imagine going up them. Hi, Chloe. How you doing? You missed some person. You missed a fascinating talk at a minute. But yeah. Why would you need to build steps like that? Oh, that's good news. I'm going to be doing a gaming on TikTok in a while. I done GeoGuessr today. I've got the first bit, but I got bananaed technically. But yeah, so yeah, Jane and Chloe and Tim. Why would you need steps that big? Unless, yeah, exactly. So then he put into effect. Look, like I know you're rude. Show you something else. Um, literally. But look, there's giant stairs everywhere in the world. Look, this is in Peru. Look, um, Machu Picchu has them. Um, and I think somewhere else has them as well. I believe. But yeah, basically, it's crazy. So basically, Claire, what we've been talking about is Grand Canyon. I'll give you a quick recap, and that it has Egyptian. They have Egyptian names for places. Look, and this is the constellation of Orion. Why the constellation of Orion at the Grand Canyon? Literally, Jen, the giant stairs are everywhere. But look, by putting like say to self or safe or whatever you pronounce it, um, or constellation. Here you go. Six five. There you go. 6 5 star. See, 6 5 star of Orion. Yeah, and I bet we get always on there and all. Yep, Orion. There you go. So why is the Grand Canyon got a thing with Egypt and Orion? Can anyone remember what the stars of Orion were associated with in ancient Egyptian history? Can anyone tell me? Because then I'm going to go into something crazy. Yeah, it does make sense, Jen. I get what you're saying. Can anyone tell me who the stars of Orion were associated with in the ancient Egyptian or ancient Egyptology? In ancient Egyptology, were the stars of Orion associated with? Who were they associated with? That's fine. Flo, Tim. Well, the stars, right, of Orion were associated with Osiris, the god of rebirth and afterlife. That's what ancient Egyptians believed. And depending on the version of the theory that you hear, additional pyramids can be included to complete the picture of the Orion constellation, and the Nile River can be included to match the Milky Way. Because look, no, I'll put myself to the side so you can see it. There you go. Orion's belt superimposed on the Giza pyramid complex, illustrating the Orion correlation theory. Look. So this is Egypt. This is the Grand Canyon. Right. So now this is where it gets crazy, everyone. Because you're probably thinking to yourself, what's the Orion constellation theory? Well, the Orion correlation theory is a fringe theory in Egyptology intended to explain the arrangement of the Giza pyramid complex. It persists that there is a correlation between the location of the three largest pyramids of the Giza pyramid complex and Orion's belt and of the constellation Orion, and that this correlation was intended as such by the original builders of the Giza pyramid complex. The stars of Orion were associated with Osiris, the god of rebirth and the afterlife, by ancient Egyptians. Depending, there you go, right. So, that's the thing, right? You've seen that picture. This is the Grand Canyon, though. What does everyone think? Also, like I said, make sure you're liking, subscribing, turning the notification bell on. Humming. So yeah, what does everyone think then? Before I start playing a little couple of videos. Yeah, that's fine. Well, here we go. Right. I'm all right, Daniel. How are you? But yeah, it's crazy to think. That's fine. It is amazing how it all comes together, right? So, we all know who Joe Rogan is, don't we? Have a listen here, everyone. What they spoke about on his podcast. This 30-second clip, everyone. Have a listen.
Which I would love to know the official reason. See if you can Google. Is there an official reason why you're not allowed to go to certain areas of the Grand Canyon?
They use a VPN there, brother.
The story, I was looking at an article about the original article, and it says that the two guys mentioned might not have even existed.
Right.
There's no evidence of them.
G.E. Kincaid?
And
Right.
another guy named S.A. Jordan.
Oh, so it might be just a story that someone printed, some horseshit.
Yeah.
Which I would love to know the official reason. See if you
There's apparently there was a story that come out in 1909 that relates to a person called G.A. Kincaid, everyone. That apparently found Egyptian mummies in 1909 in the Grand Canyon. Oh, I forgot I read myself on mute. But yeah, that G.A. Kincaid, everyone, 1909, apparently there's a theory. Well, it was a story, right? I'll give you a quick recap, Daniel, in a second, and you'll be shocked. So G.A. Kincaid apparently discovered in 1909, there was a story, and Iran that apparently found Egyptian mummies in the canyon. And they're saying that he doesn't exist. Is it because he doesn't exist, or is it because he got topped? Anyways, I'll give you a quick recap, Daniel. Right. This is the Grand Canyon, as you know. We have Egyptian sounding names around the places, right? But then this is also Orion, the constellation of Orion, Daniel. Like, why is the constellation of Orion imposed onto the Grand Canyon perfectly? Look. Literally, Daniel. But this is where it gets even more crazy, right? Um, there you go, Daniel. This is a Giza, remember? This is the Grand Canyon. They do. They really do. So why is the Grand Canyon like Egypt then? And apparently there's also another thing that's crazy about the Grand Canyon that I'm not even delved into yet. But I'll delve into it another. I think I'll have to delve into it in a different time. Or if people want me to. But yeah, right. 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 And now listen to this chick. Her name's Astros Alexandra. Apparently she's found something as well that she's talked about. Listen.
There's something weird about the Grand Canyon. About 65 million years ago, around the same time that the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs hit, a massive thick layer of rocks all rose together. This is the Colorado Plateau, and this land was literally taller. So the Colorado River, which traveled across this land, started traveling across steeper land, and it got faster and more aggressive. So over millions of years, the water cut through that rock, exposing layer after layer of Earth's history on the canyon wall. This is literally like pages of a book. We can date all of these rocks and sometimes the fossils within them. We can see that lava has poured down these canyon walls. There are several hundred documented caves and over 2,000 suspected, full of rare minerals and archaeological sites and fossils. We can see all of that, except the rock right here is 1.8 billion years old. The rock right here is 520 million years old. There should be a billion years of history right here, but there isn't. This is called an unconformity, and we see it all over the world, but it's very prevalent in the Grand Canyon, and scientists don't know exactly what caused it. The leading hypothesis is that this area was covered in glaciers. This would have overlapped with snowball Earth. And when the glaciers left, they dragged and eroded sediment away from the underlying rock in this whole area. To make it more complicated, this is what Earth looked like back then. So it's really hard to find answers. But remember, this was 500 million years before humans ever existed. So this is definitely like an Earth cause, not a conspiracy. There's something weird about the Grand Canyon.
What does everyone think of that then? What does everyone think of that? It is mad, so right. And now go back to Mr. Joe Rogan, who talks more about that Kincaid fella. Right? You now tell me that this don't get weirder. This was 1909, remember? So if there's cover-ups, it's been going on for such a long time, as we know, but it's crazy.
Canyon, there's been these crazy stories of people finding these like caverns with like Egyptian artwork and hieroglyphics.
So the story is, it shows up, I believe, in like the Phoenix Gazette. It's 1903 or so. And the explorer is G.E. Kincaid, and he's going down, he's looking for gold deposits or whatever. So he finds these steps that are clearly man-made. He follows the steps up and there's a cave, and he goes in there and he describes hieroglyphics that look Egyptian but are not quite. He finds a statue that he describes as like Buddha-like, not Egyptian, not human, but sort of like Buddha. And all these weapons, shields, gold, all sorts of stuff. He keeps going. He finds a deserted city in the caves, and all these tunnels and caverns go everywhere, and he's trying to map everything. He comes out and he goes back to town and he gathers together a group that we're gonna go find the stuff again, and people are excited about it. And a couple of weeks go by and everyone's gathered to go on the expedition. He never shows. The expedition goes nowhere, and that's really the last we've heard of it.
Grand
Bit funny, innit? Bit funny, that, ain't it? Yeah, he's the White Files guy, yeah. But ain't it crazy? Right. Right. I'll play this one as well, and then I want to get everyone's thoughts.
Grand Canyon thing is bananas. Like, there's areas of the Grand Canyon you cannot explore.
You cannot go. You cannot fly over.
Right.
And you can't fly under the rim. Yet when you go to those bad places, suddenly a white plane flies over under the rim, black helicopters show up. I showed on my episode. I show the black helicopters showing up. Like, they do show.
Yeah. Like, they are protecting something. It's not as simple as this is a dangerous area, because you can go to any dangerous area.
You go just to the normal tourist area. It's like, be careful.
There you go. So, why is the Grand Canyon having that much activity and suspicion over it? Probably working on it, Dan. Yeah. Why does the Grand Canyon have that much, like, stuff happening? Yeah, we've got to the part of the episode now. We can ask questions about the topic. Maybe, Dan. There's a theory also that there's nuclear warheads down there. Don't know how true that is. I saw a clip ages ago, but I can't remember where I found it, so I can't get it up at the minute. But yeah, if you've got questions about the topic, let me know. Because it's this time now. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe and turn the notification bell on, everyone, if you're not already. Could be anything. Yeah, has anyone got any questions about this topic? Depends. Depends, though, Daniel. Saying there was one underground, it could be. We don't know how long ago. Just look how if the aliens. How far was their tech? Say that it happened in like 1909 or something. You know what I mean? But it's an interesting theory, though. So, what? Has anyone got any questions? If not, just put a thumbs up in the chat. Well, it's like anything, though. You can. I'm not rude. But there's oxygen down there. It's limited, but apparently, if you think about it, for millions of years, when we first come onto this planet, we could stay encased for like hundreds of years. There's a place in, I think, where civilization stayed for like 150 years in the caves. So, but yeah, if you got any questions to ask, if not, put a thumbs up. Then I know you don't need any questions. So yeah, any questions, put them in the chat. If not, put a thumbs up. And I know you're good. Right, Chloe? So Chloe's the only one with thumbs up. So has anyone else got thumbs up, or do they got questions? That's all right. So that will be Jen with a thumbs up. Yeah. Hopefully you've enjoyed this live, everyone. Pardon me, everyone. Right, Daniel. Well, yeah. Right. Hopefully you've enjoyed this live. Like I said, it was a pleasure to bring it to you. Thank you all so much for turning up and tuning in and asking and interacting. I'm gonna go get some food now, and then I'm gonna chill in the Discord. Feel free to jump in and chat and whatever. Big love to you, all of you. Like I said, like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, share it out to anyone you think would be interested in stuff like this. And I'll see you later. Bye bye, everyone. Take care.